Hi everyone, welcome you all. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to locate elements on iOS app. So to demonstrate this, the first thing is we need to build an iOS app using Xcode. And once you have built your iOS app, so now we need to launch the Appium inspector. And by using Appium inspector, we need to launch the simulator. And even we can use Appium inspector to identify the elements of the iOS app. And once we have done this, then once we have identified the elements by using some locators, and we can use those locators in our automation script. Now we'll see step by step how we can perform them. So as a first step, what I can do is I'll just go to Mac OS. This is my Mac operating system. So here I already built my application. So UI, I have a UI catalog app which is already built by using my Xcode. And also I have an Appium desktop server which is installed. Once we have opened your desktop server, Appium server, so once you open this desktop, we need to start the Appium server. So let's open this application. Let's wait for a few seconds and it will launch your Appium server. So once it is launched, now we need to start server. Click on the start server. So once you click on the start server, my Appium server is running. I am not go install later. So it is just showing the newer version update. Okay, so now I have started my server, and then we need to just go to start inspector session. Once you go to start inspector session here, so here this capabilities I already configured earlier. So once you open this, so platform is iOS, platform version is 11.4, and device name I'm saying iPhone X. So this time I'm launching my app on iPhone X because I already built my app on iPhone X earlier by using Xcode. And then automation name, and this is a location of app I have specified. So with this configuration, so this will basically launch the simulator. Now click on the start session. So once you click on the start session, it will launch the simulator. So I can just minimize the server here, and let's wait for a few seconds till it is launches the simulator. So now it is trying to launch a simulator. Let's wait for a few seconds, and now it is launched my simulator. And along with the simulator, it will also try to install UI catalog app. Now it is trying to install UI catalog app on my iOS device. So again, let's wait for a few more seconds. Once the installation is completed, then we can see a different screen on Appium selector. So now it is trying to install my UI catalog app on iOS device. Okay, so now I think it is already installed. Now it is trying to launch UI catalog app on my iOS device. Okay, so now it is launched my UI catalog app on my iOS device. So along with this simulator opening, it is also installed UI catalog app on my iOS device. And immediately here, Appium server screen is changed a little bit. And here you can see three sections, and we already seen these three sections in the earlier video. Basically, this screen contains three parts. First part contains the UI. So whichever UI we can see in the simulator will be seen here. And the second part is a code which is created for this particular screen. And the third section, we can identify the locators. So for example, let's try to inspect one of the element, let's say action sheets. Now here you can see accessibility ID and then XPath and element ID, type, value. There are different properties or it is showing. Similarly, I can identify one more element. Let's say identify the buttons. Now again, it is giving XPath, ID and element ID and so on. So every element is having certain number of properties. The main important properties are two. So one is accessibility ID and the other one is XPath. So we can use these two identifiers to locate the elements on the mobile apps, either accessibility ID or XPath. So now what I'm going to do here is, suppose if you want to get the refresher screen, suppose I'm moving something like this. So my screen is changed. Now I want to get the latest screen here populated. Then I can just refresh this. I can use this refresh option. So when I click on this, it will be refreshing. So refresh source and screenshot. Once you click on the circle, it is going to refresh your screen. Now we got the refreshed screen here. So it is still trying to capture the latest screen. Okay, so now I got the latest scene. Now again, if you go back to the first screen, action sheets and everything, again you refresh here. So once you got the refreshment here, and then again you will get the next screen, refresher screen. So this is how we need to use Appium UI locator. So this is a particular application. So this is very important as to get all the attributes or properties of those particular elements which we are going to use in your automation script. All right, so now I got the main screen here. So what I'm going to do is I want to write a automation script now. So where I want to find out how many items are there in this particular list. So if you go to the mobile, so from the starting with action sheets, there are so many elements are there. So every element is having two parts, step bars and switches, text fields, text field. The last one is a toolbars, and the first one is the action sheets. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to find out how many options are listed out in this particular app. And finally, I will also click on some of the option in this list. First of all, I will just count how many options are there in this list. And the second thing is I will also try to capture these values, and I will also print in my console window. And after that, I will also show you how to click on certain element on this. Okay. So to do this, what we need to do is now I'm going to just launch my Eclipse. So here my Eclipse already launched. So in this Eclipse, so I already created a project iOS automation earlier. Let me just expand this one, and under this particular package. So this is example in the last video I have created. So where I specified all the desired capabilities which are required for our app. And it will also launch basically this will go and install this particular app whichever I specified under app capability, and the same app will be installed on your iOS device, right? So I'm just copying the same code, and then I will enhance a little bit. So let me just copy the same file, right click, and I mean just copy and right click again, paste over on the same package. So I'm just giving some different name. I'll say example 2, identifying elements. I'll say identifying elements. Just a moment. Identifying elements, right? So I have just changed the name of the class, and okay. So now I have created another class which is also having the same code. So we need to specify the desired capabilities and automation name, platform name iOS, platform version is 11.4, and this time I'm using iPhone X version. That's the device name. I'm just changing the iPhone X, and again app location is exactly the same, and the URL is also exactly the same. So now this particular script will go and install this particular app again on my iOS device. So now I'm going to just continue the script. So as a first step, what I want to do is as soon as my app is launched, I need to count. So I need to count how many list options are displayed. How many list options are displayed? So I need to find out. So how we can find out? So we need to find out a common locator which is exactly matching with all the elements on my iOS app. So how we can do that? So to do that, let's go to again UI inspector, and let's try to identify each and every element. First, I'm going to identify action sheets. So if you see here, there is an XPath is available. And what is the XPath? XCUI element type is static text. Element type static text. And here type is also there, and accessibility ID is toolbar. And if you notice each and every element, accessibility ID is different, activity locators. And here alert to use. For this accessibility ID is alert to use. So accessibility ID is different from one element to another element. So if you want to identify the unique element or specific element, we can go and use this accessibility ID. But now my requirement is I need to find the locator which will match with all the elements which are there in this list. So if you notice, other than this accessibility ID, so other than these properties almost same, so we can go for XPath. If you see this XPath, it is also a little different from one element to another element. So if you see the first action sheet XPath, it is saying XCUI element type static text inside this @name toolbars. Some property has been displayed here. And if you notice the second one also, the outside side, the tag name is same, but inside this property values changed. And alert views also, the tag name is same, but the value of the alert name is changed, right? So now what I can do is, if you want to identify all these elements, now we need to find out the common thing, that is your tag name. So in the XPath, this tag name is same for every element, right? So now I'm going to use this particular tag name as an XPath. So I'm just copying this, and let me just copy this. And using this particular XPath, I'm going to identify all the list of elements. Now let me minimize this and go to your script. Okay, so now here I will write a one identification method called driver dot. So here I'm using find elements because I need to find out more than one element. So I'll say find elements by, so we have XPath here, right? So find elements by XPath I can use. So find elements by XPath, and here I can specify the exact XPath whatever I captured. But I'm not providing the complete XPath, I'm just providing only tag name because that is a common for every element. So now I want to store all these elements inside a variable. So here I'll say list items. Okay, so this should be list type and web element type. List of web element type. It should be list of web element type. Now we need to import this list from java.util and web element from org, that's from Selenium. So let me just get it properly. So web element. So this web element should come from WebDriver. So it's still not giving properly. Web element. So first we need to import the list from java.util. So once it is imported, then go and import the web element, right? So now this item should come, this particular variable list items contains all the list items, and even everything is a web element. Okay, so now this will capture all the list items into this particular variable. Now I need to find out the size, how many elements are displayed. So I can just say list items dot size. So this method will give you exactly how many items are displayed in this particular list. So let me just print this output. I'll say system dot out dot println system list items dot size. So once we get it, so let's end the statement. Okay, so now till here I'm just going to run my code. So again this will go and install the app again. So now let me run the script here. So first we captured all the elements and then we found the size of element. So here I'll put some wait time because it will be very slower. I'll say 5000 milliseconds and then add this exception. Okay, so now my script is done. So I have just launched my UI catalog app on my iOS device, and then I captured whatever home elements are displayed in the UI catalog, all these elements, and then I find out how many are there by using size method. So let's go and execute this, run as Java application. So now observe, it will go and install UI catalog application one more time on the same iOS device. Now you guys can observe here, it is trying to install UI catalog application. So let it finish, and once it is finished, it will also open the UI. So once it is open the UI catalog UI, and then it will find out the how many list items are present in this particular application. So now we need to get output here. So after waiting for 5 seconds, sorry guys, I've just given 50,000. Okay, should give very less time here. 5,000 means 5 seconds, right? 50,000 means 50 seconds it will wait. So just for now, I'm just stopping the script. Again, I'll just decrease the time. 5 seconds, 5,000 milliseconds means it's a 5 seconds. Now let me just run one more time. So I'm running the script one more time. And again, it will start installing the UI catalog app once again. So once it is installed, now again it will launch the UI catalog application. Then it will find out the how many elements are displayed on the UI catalog application. Okay, so now it is launched my UI. Then it will find out exactly how many elements are present in this list. So because whatever XPath I have given, so that particular XPath is going to match with multiple elements. So let's wait for a few more seconds. Yeah, so now it is giving 35. So totally we have a 35 items are there in this particular list. Okay, so it will count the home page and also below the elements, whatever we have, this will count all the list items below ones. Okay, so this is how we need to find out how many elements are there. So now what I'm going to do is I want to capture each and every list item here. Basically they are not list item, these are, we can say, options. Okay, I want to capture each and every item from this UI catalog app, and then I want to print in my console window. So how we can do that is I'm just going to enhance this code. So this time we need to this list items contains all the items, right? List items. Now to capture each and every list item, I need to capture each and every list item from this variable, and then I can extract the text value. So for that I need to write one loop statement. So here I'm writing the enhancer loop list items, and I need to capture each and every list item into one variable. So here I'll define one variable, it's a list item. So this list item li should be web element type because it should be having the element. I'll say this is a web element, and I'll say li. So now in this particular loop, from this list items, first item will be stored in this li, and I'm extracting the text value. So li dot get text, I'm extracting. So the method is get text. I need to give properly li dot get text. So this method will exactly give you the text value of that particular element. Now I'm going to print in my console window. I'll say system dot out dot println and li dot get text. So and then semicolon. So now let's execute and see how this will work. Right click, run as Java application. So this time it will give you count. Along with that, it will also display the each and every element text value in my console window. Now it is trying to install UI catalog app on my simulator, and then it will launch the UI catalog app. Then it will find out how many options are there in this UI catalog, how many list items are there in the UI catalog. So once it displayed this value, and then it will go and get the each and every list item text value. Let's wait for a few more seconds. So first it will display the number of items in my app. Yes, now 35. So now you can see here it is extracting each and every item text value, right? So sliders, steppers, and everything. And you guys can notice one more thing here is along with this actual value, right? So if you see here action sheet, so action sheet is actual value. Before that, whatever value we have here, small text app something, right? So if you just go back here, app action sheet view controller. So even that also it is capturing because whatever XPath I have given, and this XPath is exactly matching with the both. So for every actual main element, it is also capturing the sub value. So alert view, for that it is giving a player view controller. So for buttons, for every element, so it is captured till the last element, that is your toolbars. Now if you just go and go to the bottom of this application, the last one is the toolbars. Okay, so this how we can get it. So here it will also get the time here whatever is displaying because that is also having the same kind of XPath. Okay, so this is how we can capture each and every list item. I can then print them in the console window. So now what I'm going to show you is I want to click on one of this option. So let's say I want to click on alert views. Okay, so how it will happen. So we need to identify the specific locator for this. Either we can identify this by using XPath, or we can identify this specific element by using some other property. So let's go back to Appium inspector and check what are the properties are available for alert views. Again, I'm just go back to this particular Appium inspector. Now I want to just click on alert views, right? So let's inspect this element, alert views. So once you have inspected this alert views element, right, so it will give you accessibility ID along with the XPath, right? So if you want to go and identify the specific element, most of the times we use accessibility ID. So there is specific locator is available, find by element by using accessibility ID. So let me just use this accessibility ID. I'm just capturing this alert views. and I'm copying this accessibility ID. Now I'm going to use this ID, accessibility ID, in my code. Now again, let's go to your Eclipse code. Now here, I want to click on alert views. Okay, so here click on alert views. So how to click on? Again, find the element. So driver dot find element by, we have an accessibility ID. Okay, so this is a direct locator is available. So here I am pasting that accessibility ID, whichever I captured from Appium inspector. And once you capture this, I am performing the action called as a click action. So this will perform the click action on that particular element. So now we have done this, it will go and click on the alert views, right? So after that, what I can do is I will wait for some more time, and I'll say thread.sleep. I'll just wait for 9,009 seconds, and then I will quit from the driver. So it will close that application. Okay, so I'm just quit from the driver. So this is the additional step I have written. So I'm just selected a specific item, and then I'm performing the click action. So again, save it and execute the script once again. And this time again, it will install UI catalog app. Then it will give you the size, how many list items are available. And then it will capture each and every list item value. And finally, it will click on the alert views. Now let's wait for a few seconds. It is trying to install UI catalog app. So once it is installed, then it is trying to find out how many list items are available in the UI catalog app. Let's wait for a few seconds again. So now it is trying to find how many options are there, or how many list items are there in this UI catalog app. Okay, so now it is giving 35, and it is also retrieving each and every option from this UI catalog. And finally, it will go and click on the alert views. Okay, once you get all the options, finally it will go and click on the alert views. Now it is saying, see this, it is clicked on the alert view successfully, and it is also displaying the few other options available under alert views. And finally, we have closed the driver, right? So driver.quit, so that is closed your application. So this is how we need to identify the elements, and we can interact with the elements. In the coming videos, I'll show you different type of elements. So that's all for this video, guys. So thanks for watching.